lesson.
Good morning. How's it going?
Going.
It's going. How was the homework? Any troubling problems?
I sent you an email regarding one on the more.
Yeah, and I responded too.
I have to check it.
So you'll
The
get the
only
message. What?
That was the only trouble I had with the bottom second question.
Good. I can't remember what the question was, but I know I responded. Let me look. So if you go into any more assignment, it should show that you have a new message.
Okay.
Sure, you can get it just because it looks different to me, than it does to you. And I'll go back up to my messages and see.
It says the assessment is not currently available.
Go into a different more assignment like tonight, like S5 mini lesson. And at the top, it should say messages, like on the right-hand side.
I can't hear you.
That's weird. Hold on. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Or is it still
Yes.
weird?
Okay. I opened up another one and I see your message now.
Oh, good. And read through it and let me know if it makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, good. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
V and I were just talking about when you have trouble in a more question, you can click the Ask My Instructor button and it sends me the exact question you're working on. And then I can respond to it. And where you get your response is inside Canvas still, but in more, and it'll be in the, wasn't it in the upper right-hand corner, V?
Yes.
Yeah, so and it'll say you have a new message and you click there and that's where I respond. All right, so welcome to Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing well. We have we have an activity to do today that you're going to do with your teams, but each person turns it in individually. Yes? And so you don't have to share a common document, but you can like discuss your answers. And because this is going to count in the quiz category, and it's a good practice for our quiz next week. And I know some of you don't like to write on the electronic document, like you'd prefer to just write on paper, right? That's totally fine. I don't have a problem with you writing on paper at all. So you can access the document just so you can see the questions and the data and the formatting, and then you can do it all on paper, and then you just upload that document to the assignment, okay? But so each person is going to submit their own, okay? If you like the electronic version, that's totally fine, but you have to be careful because next week when we take the test, you won't be able to any other windows. The Respondus Lockdown browser will not enable you to access somewhere else and do your work electronically. So you will have to do it on paper next week. So it's a good idea to practice it doing it on paper because you have to upload your work within 15 minutes of completing the test. Okay. So any questions on, V and I were just talking about homework questions, anything like that? Anyone have any homework questions, concerns, problems?
I had one question.
Yeah.
I honestly, it was a little rough for me, but I got some of them. But anyway, one in particular, I don't exactly remember. I think it was like it was with like percents. It was kind of a word problem. Is there a way we could pull it up?
Yeah, I can pull it up. Do you know what number it was?
It was like it was like in the 20s.
Okay. And it was on the S4 practice from last night,
yeah,
right?
the one that was due last night, yeah.
Okay. So it was in the 20s. Get a little more info while I'm pulling it up. What was it about? Is my mic cutting out? No. Do you remember what it was
Oh, no.
about, Matt?
Yeah, I think apparently my mic would be good. It was like percents. It was like 3 different like boxes, and you had to write. I think it was percents in them, and it was
Okay. So was it about the quartiles?
um. No, that one was easy. If you could show me, I could totally recognize it.
Was it about percentiles?
Maybe.
Okay. So let me
Yeah.
share my screen.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
Um,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
24 says in general, what percent lies at or below the 80th percentile? What lies at or above the 56th percentile? Those?
Yeah. 24. Yep.
Mm.
That was.
Okay. And did you use this little help, this little video right here?
I don't think so. I think the one that I was doing didn't have one, or I didn't notice it. No, but
Yeah, so always look because there should be help. And sometimes this is an important thing for you to know. First of all, the video here that
Mhm.
explains how to do the problem. Okay. Then you can watch the video. Then sometimes when people watch it, they go, oh, that video actually wasn't even helpful for me. Right. So if that happens to you, please send me that question because I haven't proofed every one of these videos and I just don't have time to watch all. So if you watch one, you find that it's not helpful, let me know so I can change that video. Okay, because this is a huge database. So let's just, can you hear this video?
Not right now. No, no, I can't hear it. I can read it though. I see the text at the bottom.
Okay, I was just seeing if it was a helpful video or not. So if we look at this, it says, in general, what percent lies at or below the 80th percentile? So if we have the 80th percentile here, what percent of the data values will be at or below that? And this isn't just for Matt, this is for anyone.
It'd be 80.
Yeah, it'd be 80 because that's what it's trying to say. It's saying that you did better than or as good as 80% of the people who took the test. So that number would be 80. Then, so if it says what values in the data set lie at or above the 56th percentile. So here you are at the 56th percentile. You want to know what percent is above you. How would you figure that out?
Just would it be like 100 minus 56?
You got it. So 100 minus 56. What do you get when you do 100 minus 56?
44.
Don't judge me that I can't do that in my head.
Nope, that's okay. That's why we have tools that we can do it.
100 minus 44. Okay.
There you go. And see, that's the answer, 44.
That's a lot easier than I was making that up to be.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
So, and so use those videos too, because that video would have been helpful.
Okay.
Okay. So
I
make
was
sure you
messing
use
them up
those
too,
video
Matt.
help.
I was messing up
Thank
too,
you.
Matt, when I was doing the math portion. The second portion to those questions, it would catch you up if you weren't really paying attention to the at or below or the above, and then
On here.
also, yeah, and then just making sure that you were punching in the numbers, because I kept messing it up too, and it was only because I was like, oh, this is easy, and then I was rushing through it. So yeah.
Yeah, so on that second part of that question, you can still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
So remember how we learned how to find percentages before. So it says if the same has 600 test scores, how many of them would be at or below the 64th percentile? So basically what it's asking you is what is 64% of 600? So if you multiply 0.64 times 600, you get 384.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so it was Tashina, I'm glad you said same thing, right? If you're rushing, it's easy to make a mistake in these, right? Okay, good. And like I said, you can always click the Ask My Instructor button and then ask me a question, and then I can respond back to you. Here's what I can't figure out, which is very strange. I can't figure out, like when you just went when you just tried to go into that assignment, S4 practice, it said, this assignment isn't available to you, right? So, but
I went into
I
another
haven't,
more assignment and just,
what?
I went into another more assignment and hit resume and just went to the mail.
Yeah, but what's weird is I have my settings set to allow students to work after it's due just for practice. Like it should let you just go in there and practice it. Like that's what I have it set up as. And yet you can't. So I'm wondering if anybody's in their Canvas right now, if you click on like if you click on gradebook and go to that same assignment, that S4 practice assignment, click on it through the gradebook and see what it says in there. I'm just curious. Because like I said, I can't pretend I'm a student. It doesn't let me.
Yeah, I would love to do the one that we just did last night again too.
Yeah, I have it set up to where you're supposed to be able to do all of them, but I feel like something's weird. There's some weird setting that I'm missing. Tashina?
It says no preview available, but I've been able to go through it. I've practiced before and it's let me.
Yeah, it's saying,
So weird.
it's saying what V is saying. It's not allowing you to, but if you want, go try it a different way like I did last night.
Yeah, try it a different way, Tashina, and let me know. But I'll check the settings again, and I'll email my tech support and ask them what's going on, because it should appear in Canvas and it should say, this assignment is past due, but you can review in practice mode if you want. That's what it's done in the past, V, is that true?
Okay, I figured it out. So just like last night, Matt, any other way that you access it, like if you access it through grades or announcements or like your to-do list, it's going to show it as finished. But if you go in through modules and you scroll down through the little checklist that you have us set up for, it'll show it, you know, finished or viewed. And if you click there, mine right now, and I can share my screen if you guys like.
Yeah, please, please.
All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
I can't, but it's me. Everybody else can, so you're good.
Okay,
did,
so
yeah.
here, if you go to modules right here on the left-hand side and you have your like under home, announcements, syllabus, so on and so forth, you have modules which are right above grades. If you click there, it brings you to this page. Let me move this. So then you scroll down all the way to whatever assignment it is that you're looking for. In this situation, it's S4. And it says viewed here, and it's already completed. I got a check mark here to the right. If you click on it, it takes you here, and she's got it set up to where you could practice it. So it's got your previous records, how many times you've taken it, the dates and times and things like that. But then, and you can even see your previous scores, then you can practice.
Okay, that's great, Tashina. And by the way, this is where I thought you were accessing them all the time, is through modules. This is the best way to access them. And Tashina, if you want all those windows to shut, you can click those triangles and you won't have to scroll down so far, right, on yours. And I can, if you guys want, I can reverse the order of my modules. So the newest week is at the top and the oldest week is at the bottom. Would you prefer that? Would that be helpful? Perfect. I'll switch it. I'll just do it after class or maybe when you guys are in your breakout rooms. Okay, good. Thank you, Tashina. Okay, any other homework issues, questions, concerns? I know Judith sent me a question and I'm going to bring it up. And what my disclaimer is going to be, I'm still figuring out how to do it on the Desmos calculator, and I will figure it out, I'm convinced. But what I want to do is explain to you that that kind of question isn't going to be on your test. It was on your more assignment, but it's not going to be on your test. I'm not going to have a problem where I'll show you what it looks like. Where it's a frequency table. Looks like this. So it gives you your X values and it gives you your frequency table. And you have to find the standard deviation to 3 decimal places. If you do not have a graphing calculator, this is a beast of a problem, right? This can be very frustrating. If you do have a graphing calculator, it's fine because you just put your info in L1 and L2. If you're going to use the app that I gave you, you literally have to type 15, 15, 16, 17, 17, and you have to type 17 23 times, and then 18 24 times. So that's a bear. I'm going to ask them to update that app so we could have 2 lists. And like I said, if you have this calculator, you can totally do it. Judith, are you using a calculator like this?
Yeah, but sometimes I just use the one that's on the website. So yeah, like sometimes I trade off.
Yeah, so if you're using the one on the website, this problem is really hard. If you're using this calculator, it's much, much easier because you just put your X values in L1, your frequencies in L2, and then you tell the calculator that, and it does it very, very quickly. I am trying to figure out how to do it on the Desmos graphing calculator, and I'm super close. I just haven't had time to finish that. So I'll let you know on that, but this will not be on your test next week. This will not be on your test. If I have you find the standard deviation, it's just of a very few values and it's not in a frequency table. Okay. Tashina, do you have a question?
Yeah, it was just going to be, were we allowed to use, because I have my phone as a calculator with the WABITIMU for the TI-83, and I was concerned about whether I was going to be able to use that for testing purposes.
Typically I don't want it, but I love that app. So I'm gonna let you use it, but what I need you to do when you use it is I need you to hold it up to the camera and say, I'm only using this app, and then use it, and then
Okay.
put your phone down, okay? Because you're being recorded the entire time you're testing,
Okay.
right? Okay. Any other homework questions? And did you notice I sent you some emails about things? Lee, question.
I have a question on number, I think it was 17 or 18 on the Moore problem.
Okay.
And it was with, okay, so here's the standard deviation and here's how much they make. And I couldn't figure out how to calculate the difference on how much they make with a box plot.
Okay, so you were on number, did you say it was 17 or 18?
I think it was around that area.
Okay, I'll pull that one up. Was it like,
It was a word problem and they gave you a box plot and they showed you, oh, here's how much they make to each other, calculate the percentage, then calculate the difference on how much they made from each other.
okay, do you mind if I share the screen so you can see?
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
So let me share that. And you tell me which one it is.
It was 21.
21. Okay, so this one right here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a box plot for a construction worker and a box plot for a teacher, and our salary is in thousands of dollars. And it says Jenny makes the minimum salary for a construction worker. So that's right here, right?
Yes.
The minimum value. So if you look construction worker, the minimum value would be $30,000. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now it says Marcos makes the third quartile salary for a teacher. So where is the third quartile for a teacher? This is the minimum.
It looks
This
like
is
40,000.
yeah. So this is Q1 right here at 30, right? This line in the middle is the median. So it's this third line right here, the right edge of the box. That is Q3. So do you see how it's 45,000?
Yes.
Does that make sense? So we have 45,000 minus 30,000. So that would be a difference of 15,000.
Okay.
Do you see where you were making your mistake?
Yeah.
Okay. What I noticed most people, because I think that's very similar to the question V sent me. So what I noticed people, when they make that mistake, they don't read this very carefully. And so they're looking at the wrong line. And so they actually subtract the wrong values. Okay. All right. So, and you guys don't feel bad asking questions, because if you made the mistake, there's definitely someone else in the class that made the same mistake, right? And if nobody asks the questions, then we don't know, right? Like, how do I access the questions afterwards, right? How do I redo it? So in the modules, if you access through the modules, it's going to be the easiest way. Okay. Okay. T-shirt Tuesday. Anyone have a T-shirt they want to share? Are those cactus on your T-shirt, V?
Yeah.
They're so cute.
Succulent.
Oh, so cute. Okay, you ready for mine? It's kind of boring. It's still mathy, but it's still good. Here we go. That's it. Pie. I know you get it. Pie. Yeah, it's true. I know I had another pie shirt, but you can't have enough pie shirts, right? Yeah, my other one, do you remember what the other one said? Come over to the nerd side, we have pie. Yeah, so just in case you forgot about it, I remember it. Yeah, so pie. I have more, don't worry, they're coming. Okay, so anyone else t-shirt to share before I move on? All right, so today you're going to be doing a mini project, okay? And it's basically doing everything we did from S2 to S4 all together. The difference is, so there's the doc in the chat. The difference is you are going to do this as a quiz. Now, I'm going to pull up this doc so we can see it. Oops, yeah. I don't think it'll let me click right here. But anyway, on the, I don't know why. I didn't connect to Zoom on my iPad because I was slow. So I'm having a problem. But let me see. There it is right there. I can just click here. Okay. So this is what it looks like. This is what your doc looks like. Again, if you like to work on paper, just work on paper. Here's baseball team, ages of the players, and you're going to organize it into a chart first. Then you're going to make it a histogram. Then you're going to calculate the sample mean. Then you're going to by hand do the standard deviation. Now, I know some of you are using the app. That's fine to check. But on this document, you're going to fill it all out. Yes? So you can double check with your app, but you have to fill out everything in here. And then the 5-number summary, you're going to make sure you have units on here, which these are ages. So it would be in years. Okay. And then you're going to make a box plot, make sure you have a title, right? Same like on your histogram, make sure you have a title, make sure your axes are labeled, everything. And then the last part is a summary. There's 4 questions that you have to answer in complete sentences, writing out words. So in other words, like question 1, what is the mean in the context of the problem? You're not going to say the mean is this. These are ages of baseball players. So you're going to write something about that in your sentence. Yes? Okay. In this very beginning part, it says organize it into 5 intervals of equal width. So if you think about it, you're like, okay, what's my smallest data value in this data? Anyone? Smallest value?
21.
Yeah, it's 21. So, but it seems weird to start with a value of 21, doesn't it? So you could write your first interval goes from 20 to, let's say I want my interval size to be 5. I would go from 20 to what number to get an interval of size 5?
45?
24.
There you go, 24. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So you'd go 20 to 24. Make sense? And then don't forget on your graph, on your horizontal axis, to do a little break at the start. Don't start it up against the edge because it doesn't start at 0. It starts at 20. Okay? And then your next interval would go 25 to 29 and so on. So you're all going to work on this. Check your answers with each other. Make sure you double check like little things, like do they have a title on their graph, right? All of these things, because that's where you're going to lose points. And remember, this counts as a quiz. Okay. Right down here, the histogram, should your bars touch or not touch? You should know that, and you should make sure you're careful. Okay. So any questions? So here's what you're going to do. I'm going to put you in your breakout room. You're going to work the whole class period until there's about maybe 7 minutes left, because your exit ticket is standard deviation, so it might take you a little bit longer. Call me in to ask me questions whenever you need help. At the end, I'll close breakout rooms. You'll do your exit ticket and you'll be done. Now, this isn't formally due until tomorrow at 11:59, because I didn't want anyone crying about what was going on, right? I wanted you to have plenty of time to check your work, but you don't want your work to pile up. Most of you will get really close to finished today in class, okay? Because you have a lot of time. So any questions on what you're supposed to do? Everybody all right? And feel free, call me in to ask questions. You know, like that's what it's for. Okay, so let's see. Purple is Zevi, which I think Zevi had an appointment today. Lily and Lee. All right. And then blue, Tashina, Danessa. I'll know these groups as soon as I am ready to change them. V. Then we have green is Matt. Josh and Judith. And then red is Annie, Brady, Ruki, and Zach. Okay, so I'm going to open your rooms. I'll come in and check on you. Let me know if you need anything. Everybody have the doc? Did I already put it in the chat? I feel like I did. Okay, good. Okay. Let me know if you need anything. Hey, Matt, stay back here for just a minute, okay?
Me?
Stay in this room for just a minute.
Okay.
Welcome back. We have a few more seconds before everybody else is back, and then we'll just update how far everybody got, okay? All right. So, did anybody finish? Okay. Did you get close-ish to finish? Did you get at least halfway done? Okay. Are there some people who are just on the questions, the last part? The questions on that last part? Yeah, Annie's saying yes. Okay. So, this isn't due till tomorrow night. Remember. Now, I'm not giving you any more time in class to do it. Okay, so if you want to talk to your group outside of class, that's totally fine, but each person is turning in their own. If you want to come to my office hours tomorrow morning, you can to talk about it. I also have office hours tomorrow night, so you can do that. So this project, if you look right here, it says it's due by Wednesday night. You do have 2 assignments that are due tonight. It's the S5 textbook reading quiz and the S5 mini lesson. Okay, make sure you do those because that's what we're going to go over in class tomorrow. A week from tomorrow is your quiz in class, right? So don't forget about that. We talked about that yesterday. If you have a Chromebook, you need to make other arrangements or you need to contact me because you have to be on a laptop or a desktop that's not a Chromebook. We have a practice one that is due by Sunday. So you'll do the practice one to make sure you have Respondus downloaded, your webcam works, your mic works, you know how to access those other websites, and you can do all of that, okay? So Your exit ticket today is a standard deviation problem, so I don't want to keep you too long. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. You can see it on the screen. When you're done, you can go. I hope you noticed yesterday, if you made a mistake on the exit ticket, then I emailed you. You know what you got on the exit ticket when you turn it in. It'll tell you, you know, but sometimes it marks it wrong just because you put an extra thing in there. If you didn't get an email from me, your exit ticket was fine. Okay. All right. Only 2 more sections in this unit, S5 and S6. So, and you're good to go. All right. I will see you tomorrow after you finish. I'm just going to be quiet so you can work. Let me know if you need anything. Lee, you divided by n instead of n minus 1. In other words, you reported the population standard deviation instead of the sample. Does that make sense?
Thank you. I didn't
Okay.
find my mistake.
Yeah, so you did everything right, except you reported population instead of sample.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Bye, Miss Clausen.
Good job, Tashina. Good job, Ruki.
Bye.
Bye, Danessa. Good job.
Miss Clausen, could I have some help? I
Yeah.
don't exactly. So I added up all of them and I got the mean. So is it right if I say it to people in here still?
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
I got 21, and then
Wait, 21 for your
when I
mean?
added them up, I got 21,
Okay.
and then divide by 7, and then 3. So what would I do with the 3 to get the standard deviation? Would I subtract by 21? Wait.
Yeah, so you take each value, each data value, like 0, and you subtract 3 from it.
Uh-huh.
And then you do 1 minus 3, 3 minus 3.
Right.
You do that 3 times, 5 minus 3, and 6 minus 3. Then all of those numbers that you get, you square them.
Okay. Right.
So,
right. And so
like,
so you go.
and so after you square them, you add up all those squares, and then you divide by 7 again.
Uh-huh.
And then you take the square root.
Okay.
Okay. So, and if you want a shortcut for an exit ticket, if you use this app calculator that I just put in the chat, you can just type in 0, 1, 3, 3, 3, 5, 6, and then hit solve, and it'll give it to you. It'll give you the answer.
Oh, okay.
It'll be the one that says S of X.
Oh, okay. I was in the long way. That's why I'm still here.
Nope. Either way, some people need to make sense of it before they can use that shortcut. So it doesn't matter. That's why I made it only so it was 7 data points. So it wasn't, and the numbers weren't too crazy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So which,
Oh.
sorry, you go to, I figured it
So
out.
you're good. Did you see that last one, that last link I just put in the chat? The one that starts with OE RVM.
Oh, I'm on it. Yeah, I was just making sure. So SX is the standard deviation one.
Exactly. So did you notice X bar is the mean, and you figured that out to be 3, right? And
The
then,
yeah.
yeah. And then, so S of X is the standard deviation, that 2.0816.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep, perfect.
Okay. I should have done
And
that.
now you just round to the right place and stick that in, and you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yep, no worries.
And ma'am, I
Christina,
came
did you have a
back.
question? Yeah.
Yeah, I've totally, and Matt, I don't know if you want to stay for this too, because maybe someone can explain it to me. So for deviation squared, on that assignment we were just doing as a group, when we get a negative, you had told us before, and I forget because it's probably like a week ago, but we don't use any negative values, right?
Right. When you square them, they'll all be positive.
Okay, so do you want us to write it in that column as a negative, and then when we do our problem,
Let me look at
we're gonna
that.
write it as,
Let me look at that. So in this last column,
yes, ma'am.
in the middle column, it might be negative, right? But in that last column, it'll be positive. Where it says deviation squared, that should all be positive.
Okay, so don't write them as negatives. Okay.
Right.
So then, when we're putting it in, because we were getting some really weird answers between the three of us, and I think it's because of what calculators we're using and how we're inputting it and such. So when we put it in our calculator, we're putting it in as a positive. Is that correct?
That's
So
what I
for-
would do. So like on the first one, it's a data value of 21. And what did you get for your mean?
So it was 30. So then,
Okay. So then it's
would be
-9.
-9. Yep.
And then, but when you square it, you're taking -9 times -9, regardless of how you put it in your calculator. So whatever you get for your answer, it should be 81.
Okay, because when we put it in our calculator, you would do it, at least in mine, you would put -9, or you do squared, right? So you do second, and then you choose the squared option, and then you would input the number. So the number in this case would be -9, and I would get an error. So I have to put it in
So
positive, and then
you
my answer.
shouldn't. So you have a calculator just like mine, right? So if
The-
you just type 21 minus 30 and hit equals, and it should say -9, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now there should be a button on your screen. I don't know if you can see mine, but there should be a button on your screen that just says X squared. Do you see that button right here?
Oh, yes.
So just hit that button right now and hit enter.
Gotcha.
Did it do it
Okay.
for you?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's easier to do.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do that. All right. Thank you. And I'll
Good.
share it with
Yeah,
my
and
group.
check with me if you need anything.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you both of you. All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Yeah. So
How you doing, Matt? You good?
Yeah, I was just gonna put in. So would it just be 2.081 or
Okay,
like?
so if it's
Oh,
to the hundredth place,
so
which
it'd be
place is the hundredth?
the one in that, right?
The 8 is the
The
hundredth
8. Oh
place.
yeah.
Okay, because it's tenths and then it's hundredths. So you're going to
Right.
round to the 8, and since there's a 1 to the right of the 8, you're just going to leave it an 8. So you're going to
So
just
two-
type in 2.08.
Okay. All right. That's it.
Good.
All right. That's that's probably why I have the extra time on my IEP.
Yep, no worries, no worries. And just
Yeah.
make sure you ask questions and get clarification, because that'll totally help.
Okay. All right.
Okay.